Begins with the boy stepping into the massive AGT theater, his small frame almost swallowed by the size of the stage. The lights, cameras, and thousands of eyes around him feel overwhelming, but he keeps reminding himself why he's here, because this moment might be the only chance he has to change his family's life. He wears a simple shirt borrowed from a neighbor, a pair of loose shorts, and the same worn-out slippers he uses to walk miles every day. When he reaches the center, the judges look at him with polite curiosity. To them, he seems like another shy kid trying his luck. His voice trembles as he introduces himself, and the audience can barely hear him. But underneath that fear is a fire that has been building for years. The music begins, soft at first, and something shifts inside him. He closes his eyes and imagines the dark, crowded alleyways of the slum where he practices singing every night. He imagines his mother selling food on the roadside and his father working late hours just to bring home a few pesos. He imagines the many days he performed for passing strangers, hoping someone would stop and listen. And then he opens his eyes and lets the first note out. It slices through the room like a shockwave. The judges sit up instantly. The audience gasps. His voice is not just good, it is raw, powerful, emotional, and impossibly mature for a boy his age. As the chorus arrives, he pours every bit of his past into the song. His voice climbs higher, filled with intensity that feels almost unreal. People in the audience rise to their feet long before the song is over. One judge covers her mouth in shock, another nods with wide eyes, and Simon Cowell leans in with that rare expression only the greatest talents earn from him. By the time he hits the final long note, the entire theater is shaking from applause. He stands there stunned, tears forming in his eyes. In the next moment, a judge slams the golden buzzer. Gold confetti rains from above like a storm of dreams coming true. The boy drops to his knees, overwhelmed by the crowd cheering his name, as the hosts rush to give him a hug. That day, a kid from the slums becomes the newest star of AGT, and millions around the world fall in love with him instantly. Begins with the AGT team visiting the Philippines, walking through narrow alleys packed with colorful shanties as children run barefoot on the street. The cameras capture the reality of where the boy grew up. His home is a small wooden structure with a tin roof that rattles during storms. Inside, there is one bed shared by the entire family and a small fan that only works when the electricity isn't out. Still, despite the hardships, the house is filled with laughter and warmth. His mother explains that the boy has been singing since he was 5, using broken radios and old karaoke tracks found on USB drives. He practices beside a noisy highway, ignoring the honking cars and shouting vendors because singing makes him forget hunger and struggle. He walks the AGT crew to the corner where he sells bottled water to help his parents. He explains how he sings quietly while waiting for customers, dreaming that someone will notice him one day. The crew films him singing a few lines, and neighbors gather around, smiling proudly as if they have always known he was meant for something bigger. His father wipes tears as he tells the cameras that he once thought his son would never escape poverty, but now the entire community talks about him like he's already a champion. When AGT airs his backstory, America is moved. Social media explodes with support. People describe him as the boy who sings with his soul. Fans from around the world begin sending messages, and his audition video racks up millions of views within hours. News outlets feature his journey, and donations start appearing for his family and neighborhood. The world sees not just a talented kid, but a symbol of hope from a place where dreams rarely get a chance. Ends with him watching his own story on TV for the first time, tears flowing as he realizes he is no longer just a boy from the slums. He is now someone the whole world believes in. Begins with the boy stepping back onto the AGT stage for the judge cuts, his heart racing but steadier than before. The golden buzzer changed everything. People recognize him in the streets, neighbors cheer his name, and his family holds their heads higher. But with all that excitement comes pressure. He knows millions are watching, waiting to see if his first performance was a lucky moment or the beginning of something legendary. Backstage, he clutches the microphone tightly, whispering a silent promise to his parents that he will make this performance count. He has chosen a difficult song, one adults sometimes avoid because of its emotional depth and vocal demands. But to him, the song represents every struggle he's faced, and he wants to sing it not just to impress the judges but to honor his family's sacrifices. When he walks onto the stage, the judges greet him with warm smiles. They've seen his story, they've seen the world's reaction, and they want to know if he can rise to the expectation. The theater quiets as the music begins. His voice starts soft, almost fragile, as if he's telling a story only he understands. Then, slowly, the emotion rises. His voice swells with strength, soaring over the orchestra as he hits notes that bring goosebumps to the audience. Halfway through the performance, the camera pans to the judges. One is wiping away tears, another is shaking her head in disbelief, and Simon is leaning forward again, captivated. During the final chorus, the boy closes his eyes and imagines his parents watching from home, gathered around the small TV that flickers in and out when the power is weak. He imagines their faces lighting up with pride. That thought fuels him, pushing his voice into a breathtaking final note that echoes across the silent theater. When the song ends, the crowd erupts. Not a single person is sitting. The applause is thunderous, and the judges stand with the audience, clapping, smiling, and cheering. One of the judges tells him she felt like she was watching a future Grammy winner. Simon tells him he's becoming the kind of artist who can carry the weight of a song like an adult but still keep the purity of a child. The boy advances to the live shows with ease, becoming one of the most talked about contestants of the season. Episode 3 closes with him backstage, hugging the hosts, laughing through tears, and whispering, "I hope my family is proud." Begins with the excitement building for the live shows. The energy is different now, bigger stage, brighter lights, louder crowd, and national pressure. America is rooting for him, but that also means he must prove himself again. The production team gives him a full band, backup lights, and a cinematic stage setup that makes him look like a young superstar. Before he performs, he takes a moment to breathe. He remembers practicing in the dark alleyways of his neighborhood, singing beside stray dogs, ignoring the noise of motorcycles and nearby construction. Those simple moments feel distant now as he stands in front of a massive crowd and millions watching at home. The performance begins with a dramatic spotlight shining down on him. His voice is stronger than ever, confident yet emotional. This time, he doesn't just sing, he performs. He moves across the stage, letting the music guide him, and every word sounds like it's coming from the deepest part of his heart. The audience waves their glowing phones in the air, creating a sea of lights around him. Mid-song, his voice cracks with emotion, not from weakness but from genuine feeling. Viewers at home can feel it. People in the crowd wipe tears as his voice climbs into a soaring high note that rings through the entire auditorium. When the music fades, the silence lasts a second longer than normal, just long enough to feel the impact. Then the audience explodes into cheers so loud he can barely hear himself breathe. The judges deliver their comments one by one. One judge tells him he has the voice of an angel and the heart of a fighter. Another says his stage presence is rare for someone so young. Simon gives the final comment, saying, "You're not just performing anymore. You're owning this stage. You're becoming a global star before our eyes." The boy smiles shyly, overwhelmed by the praise. When voting opens, America responds with massive numbers. Fans flood social media with support, calling his performance the best of the night. He advances to the semi-finals with one of the highest vote counts. Episode 4 ends with him stepping outside the studio, looking up at the bright city lights, and whispering to himself that he's ready for whatever comes next. His journey is no longer just about singing, it's about proving that a boy from the slums can stand shoulder to shoulder with the world's greatest talents. Begins with the boy preparing for the semi-finals, the stage now bigger, the stakes higher, and the audience expectations enormous. He has been through auditions, golden buzzer, judge cuts, and the live shows, but this is different. He is no longer just a talented underdog, he is a contender. Backstage, he practices quietly, running through the song line by line, every note meticulously memorized. The song he chose is iconic, one that requires not only vocal power but also deep emotional connection. He knows millions of viewers will be listening closely, and every mistake could be magnified. But he is determined to show that he belongs here, not as a lucky boy from the Philippines but as a world-class performer. When the performance starts, the lights dim, leaving him in a single spotlight. His voice emerges soft, almost fragile, drawing the audience in immediately. Every word he sings tells a story of struggle, perseverance, and hope. The band follows his lead, swelling at the right moments and allowing him to take center stage. The audience can feel every hardship he has endured, the days walking barefoot under the hot sun, the nights singing beside a busy highway, the moments of hunger and doubt. As the chorus approaches, his voice climbs higher, filled with raw emotion that makes the viewers at home and in the theater hold their breath. Cameras pan to the judges, who are visibly moved, some holding back tears, others smiling in awe. Simon leans forward, whispering under his breath, "This kid is something else." By the end of the song, the boy has completely captivated the crowd. The theater erupts into cheers, whistles, and standing ovations. Judges deliver heartfelt praise, highlighting not only his technical ability but the soul he pours into each performance. One judge says he makes them feel every word as if it were their own story. Another comments on how he has grown from a shy, nervous child into a commanding performer who owns the stage. The semi-finals mark a turning point. He has proven that he can handle pressure, that he can connect with audiences worldwide, and that his journey is not just inspiring but genuinely extraordinary. When the votes are tallied, he earns one of the highest totals, securing his place in the finals and proving he is a true contender for the title. The grand finale begins with the boy standing behind the curtain, feeling a mix of excitement, nerves, and gratitude. This is the moment he has dreamed of all his life, the culmination of years of struggle and determination. He has spent countless nights practicing in the dim light of his small home, imagining himself on the world's biggest stage. Now, that dream is real. The stage is set with dramatic lighting, an elaborate set design, and an audience filled with thousands of cheering fans. Millions more are watching at home. As the music begins, he steps into the spotlight, his eyes bright with emotion and confidence. His performance is nothing short of breathtaking. He delivers each note with precision, passion, and vulnerability, fully embodying the song's emotion. The audience is mesmerized, holding their breath as he transitions between soft, delicate verses and powerful, soaring choruses. Cameras capture close-ups of judges, who are visibly moved, some with tears streaming down their faces. The boy sings not just for the trophy or the fame, but for his parents, his community, and everyone who has believed in him. His voice carries the weight of his entire journey, from the slums of Manila to the grand stage of AGT. Every note resonates with authenticity, and the crowd rises to their feet in admiration. As the song reaches its climax, he pours every ounce of his energy into the final note, sustaining it perfectly. The audience erupts in applause, cheers, and standing ovations that echo throughout the theater. The judges cannot contain their excitement, each delivering heartfelt praise and acknowledging the boy's extraordinary talent and heart. Simon Cowell exclaims that the boy has redefined what it means to be a performer, calling him one of the most inspiring acts ever seen on AGT. While the winner is yet to be announced, it is clear that this young boy has already won the hearts of millions around the world. News outlets, social media, and fans everywhere celebrate his journey, sharing clips and stories of his rise from humble beginnings to international recognition. By the end of the episode, he has not only achieved a personal dream but has become a symbol of hope and inspiration, showing that talent, perseverance, and heart can overcome any obstacle. His life is transformed forever, and the world now knows the boy from the slums of the Philippines is a true star.